the whole thing, so she would find location. This year she called me from Uganda for Thanksgiving, and she called me a few years back from Thailand. She put a film crew there. So she's, New York City's kind of home.
Oh, fun.
She's probably going to be on British Columbia right after Christmas. We'll be out there. So yeah, it's kind of interesting to see where she bounced around to. My kids are from all over the place. There's one in Kentucky, bluegrass country, California. Took you effectively to Cusco, isn't it? Got her in your city and wherever, and then I got one. So I'll go to New York City. That's the first vacation I had. I was 16.
How does this work time-wise, and since you're set up the coffee, do you feel like you plug this in at a certain point?
Sounds good.
But at the same time, why would you say no? Also, my opinion about it.
That's hard, yeah.
I don't want to.
That's what I'm wondering now.
I'm trying to get in shape and take care of this a little bit. That's sciatic. I guess I started type to record. And all I do is take the big squats. I needed like such things.
I know they just really.
Yeah, I have some issues too. I can't walk as well as I used to.
Or, yeah, I'll figure it out. Well, it was not persistent.
No.
Yeah, I've got gym last year. And that's healed up reasonably well. So some issues with that. Yeah.
It's not one thing, it's another.
Yeah, I know. It's just all of a sudden.
So you'll let me know what you're planning to play for the office, or you'll text it to me. Okay, next week.
I can run it by Aurora today because I have David's lesson, but I'm thinking it'll still be the same, but I'll text it to you so you can research
Oh,
what you
okay.
need to.
Okay.
Just, yeah,
And, I mean, it doesn't have to be today, but just like in the next,
I think it'll make people laugh, a little joy in music, so just.
Let's see. Make sure my phone is on silent.
Or worship mode.
Like a good coordinator.
I tried something like that in meetings.
I know.
That's hopefully you jump scare.
What's a jump scare? Oh, right there.
I'm hoping that's what that
Scream
was.
to children.
Because it's, local Big Feelings Day in Evelyn, apparently. Both the kids are just having different versions of big feelings, and, it's something. I'll put it that way.
How are you, Kim?
I'm well, how are you?
Good. I like your outfit.
Thank you. My husband was here this morning. Nobody signed up to do any of the readings for that.
Oh, for the kids now?
For the candlelight.
So my kids were both like, I'll light a candle. And I'm like, I could force them to read, but I haven't filled out the sheet yet.
Does it have to be kids reading?
I can probably convince one of them. I think I can convince Virginia. I don't know that I can convince them.
There's the UU Chalice part, Gifts of Advent, Meaning of Yule, Miracle of Hanukkah, and what's not.
Okay, and what if we outside up?
Nothing.
I'll do one of them that's not Kwanzaa, because I did Kwanzaa last year.
I know, you did. I think Advent the year before.
I'm happy to do a reading, if you don't have enough kids.
I was hoping people would sign up for it, but it's
Well,
like 2 weeks.
Well, Alicia and I usually do the Hanukkah one.
I know. I thought Gabby might want to do it this year.
Oh, okay, that's right.
But
How about I outright ask Gabby and Emma, be like, hey, can you do this reading while Emma lights the candles?
I was going to.
What you could do is during announcements, you could be like, if you weren't any of the following people, read the names. It is mandatory to stay after service and talk to me, or you will be shot.
Good morning.
There you go, that's a topic.
Very helpful, yeah.
I like your hair long.
Just create brainstorming.
Oh, yeah, somebody
I still need to get you back to Kids Park.
She's enjoying the
So,
excuse not
I'm
to
way
practice.
over on TV. She needs to get back.
I was cleaning up.
She does well when she does.
I was cleaning up.
That's her mode of
She has
convenience.
the willpower.
And so I
Music,
filled them up.
it's when she's on.
They feel heavy.
I filled them up.
Oh, you fill them up.
At least like, the place where I will give her
To
credit
me,
is that even the times when she didn't practice at all,
Oh, that's so sweet.
she is always a willing participant. She's willing to listen. Like I haven't had lessons with her where she's just apathetic or falling at all.
Oh, that's kind of great. She absolutely has been a teacher challenge teacher in the past.
Never would have.
thank you.
So,
But we get along.
Jacob got qualified last year for the AIT program for math.
That's pretty funny.
This year, and so, but he didn't. Yes, the AIT teacher was just letting him do it, basically. So they did his testing to, you know, as the official and everything, and he got like 90-something percentile on the course. He said he's really, really smart, and he'll take the same.
Yeah, I was wondering how that works.
Hi. How are
Howdy.
you? Good. Did you have a good Thanksgiving? Wonderful. Good. Just you today? Yes.
We might have the other kids here.
Right. That's fine.
Yeah. They'll like,
Grab bags. Actually, we should go ahead and get them and have them grab bags. Because it's almost time.
yeah.
Yes. Wait.
Well,
I think next weekend is the hanging of the stuff, the greens, right? And the, yeah, it's gotta be next weekend, because the weekend after that is the Festival of the Lights. So we need to get all of the, you see, want to light any candles? Probably. Okay. There's a sign up sheet, we're trying to get enough people to.
Just because we're not gonna have the bags out there. Yeah.
And
we're
put
putting
them
the bags
at
where
our
we sit.
seats.
Where
There
we're
were
gonna-
2 steps to those directions.
Remember how I said where we're gonna sit? That was me who had said that.
Try the side.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Please stand and body your spirit as we sing our gathering hymn, We Give Thanks. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist congregation of Hillsborough. We are an open and welcoming congregation, so whoever you are, member, friend, or guest, and whatever brought you here today, we're glad that you are here. We are a community of liberal, open-minded people who strive to connect with one another in love. We are defined by covenant rather than by a statement of belief or creed. We support each other in spiritual growth, deepening of faith, and challenge one another to find more love and deep truth both inside ourselves and in the world. My name is Heather Kraft, and this is Mary and Jacob. They're my helpers, and I'm the worship coordinator today. As a lay-led congregation, none of this would be possible without our army of volunteers. I want to give a heartfelt thanks to everyone, especially to Bob and Nancy, who get here and blow all of the leaves out of our parking lot. You make it so pretty. Today we're going to welcome our speaker, Pal Palmore. Our dear friend Pal got his PhD in sociology from Columbia University in 1959 and has been studying and teaching on the subject of aging ever since. He has published 18 books and over 100 articles. Despite being in his 90s, he enjoys walking his dog, singing, riding his bike and his motor scooter, and bowling. He is a humanist celebrant and is available to conduct weddings and funerals. And his homily today is on ageism and what we can do about it. Before we begin, we're going to take a moment to share any announcements. The first one is to put your cell phones in worship mode or silent. The second is that 2 weeks from today, we're going to be doing our candlelight service, and we still have nobody signed up to do any readings or candle lightings, so anyone who would like to help, there is a link in the e-news to the sign-up sheet. I know you're going to, honey. Are there any other announcements?
First of all, if you have an iPhone, I can show you how to set it to location so that it's always silent when you come here.
I think you can do that on Android too.
I don't know about those. So I'm Allison. I'm the moderator of the congregation. So, among the things I do is approve all of our spending and the checks that get written. And so these thank you notes come to me when we write a check. This one says, when we shine together, we light up even the darkest skies. And inside it says, dear UUCH, that's all of you. Thank you so much for your generous donation to New Hope Elementary School. The money you gave will support 8 families at Thanksgiving. These 8 families regularly face food insecurity. The money you gave will ensure these families have a Thanksgiving meal to enjoy with their loved ones. In gratitude, Sarah Patterson, New Hope Elementary School's social worker. Yay, us.
Hi, I'm Shauna Saunders. On a related note, the UUCH RE Children's Project for this season is donating to New Hope Elementary families in need. So if you would, after service, go to the bulletin board outside the RE room, you can choose a snowflake, which has an item on it. This one has granola bars. Some of them are food items, some of them are gift cards, and then purchase it and bring the item back to UUCH before December 17th, at which point somebody will take it all over to New Hope. Thank you.
This is just a reminder that the UUSC guests at your table boxes, we traditionally bring them back at the end of the year. So you can still work on them between now and then.
Someone named G wanted to announce their book load event on the 5th of December. They're gonna miss the announcements, but they're bringing a flyer for the board this morning, which people can check out.
Hi, my name is Lou Goodall, and I am your listening ear for today. If you have anything you'd like to talk about, or just bounce off of somebody to help you make some decision or whatever, I'll be available, and it is totally confidential.
Bring it down again. Hi, I'm Dave Yeltsin. We're talking a lot about food today with New Hope Elementary and all this, and I brought a can along just to remind us, OCIM is still, as we have the basket outside, still likes to have a lot of canned goods to keep filling the shelves, particularly this time of year, but not just canned goods. Also, soap, shampoo, detergents are also needed at this time of year, or just any time. But I usually take whatever's in the basket over about every week or two, and it's good to have a mixture of things. But I think we've been sort of low on canned goods for a while. We have some Epsom salts out there, but I'm not sure who will be making most use of that. But anything, I'd like to gear this up a little bit from now on to the end of the year. We have 4 more weeks. It'd be nice if we had about, and they do it by the pound, so it'd be nice to have about 20 or 30 pounds a week to catch us up to where we need to be. Thank you.
Busy time of year. Okay. We will now create our sacred space by lighting our chalice, the UU symbol for the light of truth that each of us seeks, the light of hope that each of us brings, and the eternal light of love. Our opening words are Thanksgiving Meditation by Elizabeth M. Strong. Let us rejoice for the families that have gathered this Thanksgiving to express their thanks and to celebrate the bounty of their lives. Let us join together in support of those whose families are far away, with distances of many forms. Let us hold one another in gentle reverence this holiday of Thanksgiving, for we are here to celebrate, to worship, and to be thankful for what we have. Life, newly born among us this year, will carry our legacy into the future. Death among us this year has given us tears of sorrow and yesterdays to remember. Illness, accidents, and surgeries among us this year have reminded us of the fragileness of our lives. We have had marriages, reunions, reconciliations, and we have had and still do have our beloved community, our religious home, where we come together in love and compassion. For all these things we give thanks today. Let us be silent together. Please stand in body or spirit as we sing our opening hymn, number 360, Here We Have Gathered.
All who seek
Ours is a welcoming community where we find connection, a sharing community where our joys are celebrated, and a caring community where our sorrows are lessened. Each Sunday, we take some time to reflect on the special happenings that have occurred this week among our members and friends. Some choose to share aloud, while others choose to remain silent. Here, we make room for both. For those of you who would like to share aloud, please take a moment before we begin to center yourself and collect your thoughts so that what you share this morning is personal, heartfelt, and brief. When you're ready, please come forward, share what's in your heart, and release a stone into the vase on the altar. If you're joining us online and you'd like to share something, please type it into the chat and indicate whether you'd like it read aloud, and we'd be happy to drop a stone for you. I want to share the first joy, which is
Tattersall is listening from home, and she just wanted to tell everybody cheers and that she's happy to be listening online.
Stone, stop.
For those of you who prefer to silently acknowledge the joys and sorrows remaining in your hearts, I invite you to come up to the altar and release a stone into the vase in silence while Aviva plays Voice Still and Small. After she's played it through once, you're invited to join us in singing. The words are in your bulletin. We hold all of these things within the heart of this community, both spoken and unspoken, by remaining silent for a moment as we consider what has been shared and how we might respond. Let us close with Amen and blessed be.
Amen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And thank you all for being here today. I guess we can all be thankful that we're alive and well enough to be here or get to whatever devices you're watching on the streaming internet. Today I want to talk about ageism and what we can do about it. I want to begin with two stories. One story is about a man who had a pain in his left knee. And it got so bad that he went to see a doctor about it. And the doctor examined it, and he felt it, and he tested it, and he put his stethoscope on it, and he couldn't find anything wrong with it. So he said, I can't find anything wrong with it. I think it must be just because of your age. And the man said, well, I don't understand that, doctor, because my right knee is just as old as my left knee, and it's not giving me any trouble. Well, the man was right, and the doctor who blamed something that he didn't understand or couldn't figure out on aging was an ageist. So What is ageism? Ageism is the third great ism, we might say, after racism and sexism. Second story related to ageism would be what happens when somebody meets me for the first time and they find out that I'm 93 years old, and there's a standard response that most people give me. They say, "You don't look that old." Right? Everybody says that. It's supposed to be a compliment. But to me, it's at best a mixed compliment, because it implies that to be old is to look ugly or sick or senile. And so it's a compliment not to look old. So this is in contrast to Japan, where I was born. Older people are honored, and when they find out how old an old person is, their typical response is, "Congratulations!" And so they view old age as something to be grateful for, because a lot of people don't make it. So the definition of ageism, what is it? It's any prejudice or discrimination against or for somebody just because of their age. So obviously, to be discriminating against someone because of their age is a violation of our first Unitarian Universalist principle, the inherent worth and dignity of each person. And it's also a violation of the second principle, which is for justice, equity, and compassion for all. So it's like racism and sexism in that it's based on a characteristic that a person can't change. But it's different in at least two ways. First of all, it's a relatively new concept that was coined and became well known about 40 years ago. The first textbook on ageism was published in 1999, which was the first comprehensive textbook on aging, on ageism. And so most people haven't even heard of the word ageism. At Thanksgiving, I was at a table with several people who didn't know anything about gerontology, and they'd never heard of ageism. When they found out I was going to be preaching about it on Sunday, they wanted to know what it was. So my second book on ageism has about 100 different types or sources of ageism, the Encyclopedia of Aging. And by the way, if anybody wants to borrow any of these books, I'm running a lending library, so let me know. The second big difference between ageism, racism, and sexism is that ageism is not confined to one group of people or one category. We will all become vulnerable to it if we're lucky enough to live long enough to become what's known as an old person. Well, what are the causes of ageism? It's something that has negative connotations in our culture. In general, the synonyms of aging and old are negative. The synonyms are infirm, worn out, enfeebled, decrepit, tired, impaired, broken down, senile, slow. I guess you get the picture. So, the second cause of ageism is selective perception. What is that? It means that if someone has this negative stereotype of old age, then seeing a person who fits that stereotype tends to reinforce that stereotype. The person will say, oh, there goes another poor old guy. I hope I'm never that way. If a person does not fit that stereotype, like if they drive a motor scooter or do 30 push-ups in the morning, then they're not usually perceived as an old person. Another source is the culture. Our culture is riddled with ageism. The art, the songs, the literature, the TV, movies, all tend to stereotype the older person. Another source, a part of our culture, is that of jokes. Now, this is a tough one for me because, as you know, I love to tell jokes. And some of the negative jokes about aging are actually pretty funny. So I've developed a rule about jokes about aging. Try telling it without mentioning the age of the older person. If it's still funny, it's okay to tell. Of course, you might just leave out the aspect of the age and let it go with that. Another source, of course, is that of birthday cards for older adults. Almost all the birthday cards have some negative aspect that makes fun of old age. In fact, it's hard to find a good birthday card that doesn't have some negative implication of old age. So, in contrast to the stereotype of older persons being sick or senile, let's look at the facts. About 80% of people over 65 are mentally competent and able to carry out the activities of daily living. That's the ADL test of how well a person is. It includes eating, walking, dressing, and so forth. And they can do it without help. Actually, only 5% of older people over 65 are in long-term care facilities, including the 3% who are institutionalized because of mental illness or Alzheimer's disease. In terms of being depressed there's actually less depression among older people than younger people. Can you guess what age has the highest rates of diagnosed depression?
30s.
Teenagers.
Teenage or college age. And that's understandable because those young people haven't established any record that they can feel good about. And they tend to be depressed for various reasons. Now, what about being slow? Well, it's true that reaction time slows down somewhat, but the slowing is only about half a second on the average, which is not enough to impair the ability of people to do most jobs. Of course, if you are a gunslinger from the Wild West, you better retire before age 65 because you might be a little slow on the draw. Now, in contrast to the usual stereotype that you can't teach a dog new tricks, most older people are quite able to learn new tricks, such as using a cell phone. Although I have to admit it still is kind of challenging for me. So, despite these facts, many employers continue to discriminate against older persons, against older workers. There is the United States Commission on Discrimination in Employment, and they get about 16,000 cases submitted each year of employment discrimination, which is much more than the number of cases dealing with race discrimination or gender discrimination. So it's something that's widespread. What can we do? Well, you can start by educating yourself and others about the facts on aging. You might want to take the FAQ, which stands for the Facts on Aging. I think you can find it on Google, under Facts on Aging. I developed that some 30, 40 years ago when I first started teaching about aging, and I wanted some gimmick to hook people's attention. So I developed this quiz of 25 items that were true, false, and I deliberately included things based on most of the false stereotypes that people have. And the average person only got half of them right, which you can get in true or false, you get half right just by chance, you know. And I developed various other forms of it, like the multiple choice version, which cuts down on the factor of success by chance. So anyway, you can educate yourself. When you've educated yourself, then you're ready to challenge other people's negative stereotypes about old age. And in contrast to the negative attitudes about old age, you can accentuate the positive, as the old movie or song says. This book, which you can get on the internet, Older Can Be Older, is my last attempt to combat ageism. And it contains some, let's see, about 40 positive aspects of ageism, of age. And it shows some of the advantages that a lot of people don't think about, like freedom to not have to work because of Social Security, and the freedom from child care because the kids are left home, and the freedom from dog care because the dog died. That's not a... I probably should take that out of this. Anyway, senior discounts, of course, is something that most people don't think about. So another thing you can do is think about and say to yourself the positive slogans about aging, such as older can be bolder and better over the hill than under it. And aging is living. And instead of asking people, how old are you? You might say, how long have you lived? And that makes it a more positive thing. And we've already talked about ageist jokes, which is something that you should become aware of. And don't send ageist birthday cards. And another thing you can do is become a model of successful aging yourself. You can eat right, take care of yourself, get exercise, keep your weight down, and all those good things that you're well aware of. And that will help you have a healthy, active aging. And if you're discriminated against in employment, take your case, take legal action. I had a neighbor who was fired from Duke for no good reason except for her age, and she took her case to the employment discrimination people, and she got a job back and a bunch of money for back pay that she'd missed. So another thing, the final thing that may be important to do is to join anti-ageist organizations, such as the AARP, the Association for Retired Persons, the National Council of Senior Citizens, or the People Power United. It's something I never heard of until I saw in my emails that People Power United has taken on ageism, and so they're working against it too. So if we do these things, we can help overcome the third great ism and fulfill the UU ideal of the inherent worth and dignity of each person. I'll close with a pro-aging poem that I found. Old trees, old books, old friends with handsome looks, old wines that taste so fine, peace instead of deadly strife. These are the good things in life. Amen and blessed be.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Each week we take a monetary offering to support our social justice work in the community. This support comes in the form of donations. This month, the community partner is Orange Congregations in Mission, or OCIM, which David spoke about earlier. You may donate by putting cash or check in the basket. Please make checks out to UUCH and put plate in the subject line. You can also donate by going online to uuchnc.org or scanning the QR code in your bulletin. Please join me in the prayer of collective gratitude found in your order of service. For the love that surrounds us every morning, for the friends beside us, and for the generous gifts just received, let us be truly grateful. Please stand in body or spirit as we sing our closing hymn, number 414, as we leave this friendly place.
May the kindness which we learn
closing reading is May We Go Forth from This Place by Charles A. Howe. May we go forth from this place, thankful for the life that sustains and renews us, and open to the grace that surrounds and surprises us. May we go forth from this place with openness and with thanksgiving. Please join me in our closing words in your order of service. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Go in peace, my friends, and blessed be.
Yeah.